If you have big titties, you cannot wear no bra at the house. That's basically what they be telling you. And I'm just like, free the titty. Y'all know what titties look like. Y'all know what nipples look like. Relax. If it's not classy, then F that. I don't want to be classy anyway. I can see your nipples. I can see the blah. Why are you even looking? Freaking perv. Hey guys, it's Shay, and as you can tell by the title, this week's video we're gonna do another addressing issues in the Black community. Today we're gonna talk about how younger girls specifically are over sexualized and things that are considered too grown in the Black community even though they really shouldn't be. So I asked people on my Instagram, I made a little question prompt, and I basically said what are things that has been over sexualized specifically in the Black community and things that are considered too grown. And I did a poll which we will get into later about a common theme I've seen within the answers. So we're just gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna tell you guys my own stories to go along with the answers you guys provided. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the video. I wanted to do this video because obviously it's the summertime and it's getting hot and humid to the point where I don't really want to be wearing clothes at the end of the day. Like, I want to wear the least amount of clothes as possible, you know? That does not include wearing leggings, nor does it include wearing jeans or joggers. So the only result is either dresses, skirts, or shorts, right? For some reason, shorts make me very uncomfortable. I get very self-conscious about it. And then I realized it's because it's this huge, I don't think stigma is the right word. This is a huge preconception about people who wear shorts. I don't know. I just felt like a lot of negativity towards wearing shorts. And I've learned that going to college, I want to like update my wardrobe and stuff because I feel like my wardrobe does not match who I am. And I've had most of my clothes since middle school. And you know, I'm gonna be 20 next year. So I feel like some things need to change. So like, I have to unlearn a lot of stuff that I've been taught that has made me insecure, specifically with clothes, because I've been over sexualized and considered too grown when I wear things. And I think I've said this in another video where when I do things, I have a mental list that check off of when I think it's okay for me to do certain things or to wear certain things, just because I'm like, okay, at this point I feel like nobody should be complaining about it or saying whatever they want to say. Or I'm like, okay, at this point I'll have the mental capacity just to block out people, because I've learned how to ignore a lot of things and try not to let it get to me like that. I'm very indifferent about a lot of things. Like I said, I realized it's because I was over sexualized when I was wearing shorts, even before I hit puberty, or like just get into puberty. And what I mean by like puberty, I mean like gaining weight, you know, getting a little curvilicious. Before I even hit that, I remember I went to my grandma's house one time and I was wearing shorts in the summer because that's what you do. And she was basically like, oh, you think you grown, why are you wearing shorts? Stuff like that, that type of energy. I'm like, it's 90 degrees outside. What do you want me to wear? You know what I mean? That's why I wanted to do this video, just to see how other people were feeling. And also I saw some tweets about it. People sent me TikToks.
What's something that was considered fast as a Black girl growing up for you?
Oh, you pretty? Fast. Oh, welcome to puberty. You got nice hips, you growing boobs? Fast. Why all those boys looking at you? Fast. Oh, you're disagreeing with what I have to say? Fast. It's 90 degrees outside, you wanna wear shorts? Fast. Oh, you're 14 and you wanna install? Fast. Oh, you're 16 years old and a boy bought you balloons for your birthday? Fast. You can only have female friends because you can't talk to boys. Oh, you're 15 and you like a boy? Fast. Oh, he said that you're very pretty. Fast. Ciao.
And just, I've heard a lot about it, and I'm just like, we need to address this, because I'm not trying to have my future daughter or even my sons to be feeling some type of way, thinking they're too grown to be wearing shorts outside, you know. And then especially now that I actually have curves, you know, shorts is even a bigger thing, because it's like the shorts either ride up and you just feel like you're wearing underwear, or you know, you just feel like people are looking at your thighs jiggle. It's just uncomfortable for me. So I have to learn how to unlearn what I've been taught about shorts. Okay, so that's just one of the examples, but of course, like I said, I've asked people on Instagram to send me things, and we're gonna talk about that. So some people did say shorts. They said when mail company comes into the house, usually parents, specifically like moms, be like, put on clothes, but you're wearing shorts, so you can't really wear shorts around boys or men company. And people are like, why would you invite somebody into our household that over sexualized me from wearing shorts? At that point, you need to get new friends. You need to let go of that relative relative, you know. And even for me, I don't think my mom's ever said like put on clothes when people come over, but I'll just be wearing shorts around the house, and then I'll hear people come into the house and I'll put on like joggers or something, and I just do that automatically because I just feel so self-conscious about it. I only live with my mom, so just wearing regular shorts around the house, she still says, I think, yeah, that's why I put on clothes, because she still says something just when it's just me and her, and I'm just like, I won't be wearing pants either way. So I'm like, I'm wearing shorts and you're complaining that I'm wearing shorts because they're too small. Like, why does it matter? I'm in the house, you know. This should be the place where I could wear things that are risque, or, you know, just to make me feel comfortable. And I'm like, girl, you don't be wearing clothes half the time, so I'm wearing shorts. And you're mad about it. Like, the whole gist of it was like, I don't be wearing shorts outside the house, and she knows I don't be wearing these shorts outside the house. So the fact that I came and wear that in our house, in my room, because all I do is go in the kitchen and come back in my room. So the fact that that's bothersome to you is like upsetting. And that's probably why I get insecure about wearing shorts, because I'm like, if she's saying something about me wearing shorts in the house or some chill stuff, what are people gonna be thinking when I get out this house, you know? And I don't feel like getting catcalled. I don't feel like the mess. So yes, that's just on shorts alone. Okay, moving into when I was talking about like puberty and stuff. So people in the black community think once you hit puberty, you're just automatically too grown. That's another topic I want to talk about. How like when teenagers are going through puberty and stuff, obviously they experience mood swings, they're experiencing heightened emotions, and then every time they express emotion other than happiness, parents or like anybody in the black community are just like, oh, they have an attitude, they're moody. Like, no, I'm depressed. Why don't we address that? But anyway, back to puberty. When I was thinking about like going to my grandma's house and wearing shorts, I also thought about when I went to my dad's house one time, and I was like maybe in 6th and 7th grade, right when puberty starts to happen. I was skin and bones until 10th grade. That's when I started getting like, you know, chesticles, thighs, booty, something, just a little bit, you know. I didn't weigh more than 100 pounds until like towards the end of 8th grade. Okay, just to give you a perspective. So I went to my dad's house for Thanksgiving. I wore a regular dress. I had a little bit of chesticles, just a little bit. He mentioned something about it. It was like, oh, I can see you're growing into your woman body, or something to that story. It's like something to make me self-conscious about wearing this dress, because at first I'm like, okay, it's just a dress, but he's like, oh, you're getting curves, something to that story. And I just realized like that was unnecessary. And he also was like, I think I was like sitting on my cousin's lap, my older cousin, who's like a grown man, probably like 30, 40 something, and I was just like sitting there talking to him. And then my dad was like, you shouldn't be sitting on no male's lap. As a young girl, you shouldn't be sitting on any dude's lap, something like that. I'm just like, why would you? The thing about over-sexualizing young kids is like, as a kid, we're not thinking, oh, this is sexual, this is da-da-da. We're just thinking this is normal. So then once you put those ideologies in our head, now we're just gonna think, you're introducing those thoughts to us, if that makes sense. So for example, a lot of people, and this is what I did my poll on, a lot of people said wearing red is such a big grown thing to do in the black community. So wearing red clothes, nails, lipsticks, or colored lipstick, right? So as a kid, when you say you want red nail polish, you're just thinking red is my favorite color, red is cute, you know. But then as an adult, you're like, okay, red has this conception of being sexual. Even now, if you put on red LED lights, oh, that's demon time. As an adult, you're thinking that, but as a kid, you're not thinking that. You're like, this is my favorite color, this is cute. So as an adult, you should be able to see both sides and be like, even though red is a sexual, sensual color, my daughter's not going to be thinking that. As an adult, once you tell the kid, oh, you can't wear red because that's too grown, now you're putting those perceptions into their minds and you're making them think how you're thinking as a kid, if that makes sense. You know, you're introducing those concepts to them when they wouldn't have learned that probably until years later. You're the one who's putting those sexual thoughts into their head now. As a kid, you're like, okay, why can't I wear red? And like, oh, it's too grown, you're trying to look sexy. Probably don't even know the definition of sexy when you're like 12. You know what I mean? It's not making sense. So I did a poll on my Instagram. Have you ever been told that wearing red is too grown? And literally everybody, I think it was like 42 people was like, yes. And then one person said no, but then he texted me with like, I don't know why I voted on this. I didn't mean that. Literally everybody else said yes. And that's just the people who responded. Even guys responded too. Even guys said yes. So why are we sexualizing a color? I get like media and like movies, when something sexual happens, they introduce red and it's sexual and sensual. But why are you doing that to a kid? And also, So moving on to like sexual aspect of this. So the reason why I want to film this today, because literally I was just at it wasn't a cookout. We was at like a seafood place where you were outside, and I was with my mom's friend's family. There was a little girl part of our group, right? And there was another little boy part of somebody else's family. So the little girl was playing on the playground, and then the little boy came. And then as soon as the little boy entered the scene, everybody was like checking for her, checking for the dude. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, he's a player. He's gonna be breaking hearts. He's a cutie. A boy who's in middle school or something, he was like, I gotta keep an eye out for that little boy and make sure they don't do anything. They were like, oh, you know, the little girl know how to catch them fast, and it's gonna be like, this is my little boyfriend, stuff like that. I'm like, why would y'all think about that as soon as the boy entered the scene? Like, as soon as he got into that playground, everyone's like, oh yeah, I gotta be checking for her, that's her little boyfriend. Like, they're literally playing freaking imaginary Captain Hook, you know what I mean? Like, why as soon as that little boy entered the scene, everyone's like, you gotta keep an eye out for him? Even the middle school boy went onto the playground just to watch them, and they were literally just playing with sticks and rocks. You know, they might have held hands, but it's like, why y'all think as soon as, why are we thinking they're thinking about relationships? But the thing is, y'all be sexualizing these kids, talking about, oh, that's your little boyfriend, that's your little girlfriend. But we're not allowed to have boyfriend and girlfriends until we're out of high school. Make it make sense, right though? Right, because it doesn't make sense. If a 15-year-old is in high school talking about, oh yeah, I have a crush on this dude, now they're too grown. But when they were 5 and 6, y'all was saying, oh, I know you like that little boy. Even now, like, there was a boy in my kindergarten class, his name was John. My mom to this day was like, oh, you had a little crush on little Johnny, and she was like, John gave you a ring and all that. Like, she still brings it up. Let me say I have a boyfriend now. Oh, hell, it's gonna break loose, you know? So the correlation doesn't exist. And since we're talking about boyfriends and stuff, so another person said girls aren't allowed to have company of the opposite sex in their room, even though you can have sex anywhere. So I follow this TikToker. Her daughter has like a boyfriend, and sometimes he spends the night, or they'll be in her room playing games, and a lot of people in the comments are like, oh, you let your 15-year-old daughter have a boyfriend? You let your daughter's boyfriend spend the night? You let them stay in their room and stuff? And she was like, when I was a teenager and my parents weren't having open conversations about relationships or sexual things or just like restricting, I would have sex anywhere. Like, you can literally have sex in the back of a Wendy's. Like, you can have sex anywhere. Whether they let the kids go into their rooms or not, it doesn't really matter. It won't change. If they want to do it, they're gonna do it. And when she was talking about how her daughter's boyfriend spends the night, she was like, when they spend the night, the whole family is around them, and it's not constricting or anything, but like they spend the night in like a tent, or he'll like sleep in another room or sleep not as close to her, but either way, it's an environment where they feel comfortable and create boundaries.
Again, yes, Aiden spends the night. Does that mean every boy that my children date will spend the night? No. If it was someone that I did not think was good for them, I would not facilitate the relationship. That being said, they are 15, 16, and 17, and so far they've made excellent choices in the people that they have as friends and that they choose to have in their life. I think a lot of parents have an issue with that because they equate nighttime and spending the night with sex. There are young people that do want to get to know each other before they have physical relationships. My daughters all have boundaries for themselves, emotional boundaries, physical boundaries, things like that they stick to. And when he spends the night, he is in a completely different room, a different bed, and I have full trust in both of them. Aiden knows our expectations, and obviously our daughters know, because we made those together. We made the boundaries together. Me, their father, them. So yes, if they want to go do the hooky tooky tutu, they can go up the street behind 7-Eleven, walk to the park. They can do it anywhere, anytime. I have full trust in my children.
How did I get into this topic? Oh yeah, so like having relationships, basically. Having a relationship in general is just over-sexualized and considered too grown. If I say to my mom, some people in my school had the boyfriend and girlfriend, they're like, they're too young to be having a girlfriend and boyfriend anyway. Why? We're in puberty. These are literally the heightened times for emotions and feelings and all that and hormones. So why wouldn't people be attracted to each other in high school? But every time I go to a family function, somebody asks me if I have a boyfriend. It doesn't add up. It really doesn't. But the thing is, she'll say that, but I still have a lot of guy friends that come to my house. Only time where she like told me not to be in a room by myself with a dude was when one of my friends came over and we went to the basement to watch 13 Reasons Why, I think. And I just turned the lights out just so we could see the screen better. And she was like, why are the lights off downstairs? But she wasn't like coming downstairs or something like that. If I wanted to do something with him, I could have. You know what I mean? Whether the lights were on or off. She's not really really restricting in that sense, but like the whole concept of having a boyfriend is so taboo. And there's a lot of topics that are taboo in the Black community, but that's another video for another time. Yeah, but she already knows that I have a lot of guy friends. Everybody knows that. Whether you think I'm a hoe or not, it doesn't really matter. I know what I do. I don't do anything with these people. If I wanted to do something sexual, I would have do something sexual. Whether I was in the house, whether I want to move with them. And lying exists. Strict parents create sneaky children. We're just gonna leave on that. Going back to the topic of clothes, somebody said noodle strap shirts or off the shoulder tops and then crop tops. So for a long time, I did not wear short sleeve shirts because I felt really self-conscious, but I hate wearing long sleeve shirts, so you see how that's contradicting. But in middle school, okay, so this goes into what somebody else says with shaving, right? So in middle school, puberty, duh, start developing hair, body hair, all the other stuff. Personally, I was not taught how to shave. I was not taught about puberty in a sense. Like I never had the birds and the bees talk, basically. So in middle school, you know, growing hair, I wasn't really conscious about it because nobody said anything. The only time somebody said something was when I was at my dad's house and he was like, oh, you better learn how to shave soon, right? Why didn't you teach me? You know? Anyway, so when people started saying stuff, that's when I started conscious about it. So in middle school, I only wore short sleeve shirts because I hate wearing long sleeve shirts even to this day. So of course, wear a short sleeve shirt, people can see your underarm hair. And then, you know, kids were like, Shayna, you need a shave. And I'm like, child, I don't know how to. So of course I started getting self-conscious about that. So then I asked Mom, can you teach me how to shave? No. What are you saying? So of course I had to go on the internet, find out how to do that. Find a rinky-dink razor that she had in the bathroom, figure out what to do, and end up like cutting my arm hella times because I'm trying to feel good about myself and not get made fun of at school. And then she'll make remarks like, oh, look at you trying to be grown, you cut your arm trying to shave. I'm like, if you would have taught me, we wouldn't be in this predicament. And also in middle school, I lived in a neighborhood where there was no stores in walking distance. Rather in my new neighborhood where I can literally, there's a Target, Giant, all that stuff across the street. So if I wanted to get something, I could have just walked across the street, buy what I needed to get, and just came back and not to be judged. But because I was in middle school, probably like 12, 13, can't walk by myself because I'm a girl. And anytime I wanted to go to the store, I had to go with my parents. And of course, didn't have my own money, so I had asked her to buy the materials. And if she didn't even want to teach me, then she wouldn't have bought the materials. So then after a while, I started getting really self-conscious about wearing short sleeve shirts unless they passed like right here. Once they hit here, I was cool, but anything shorter, I did not wear. Of course, I'm wearing this now because I had to literally put myself in an uncomfortable situation to feel comfortable with this. I don't wear stuff like this on a normal basis anyway, to this day. And that was like, what, 6 years ago? Because like my arms just feel exposed. I don't know, I just felt too grown. And like, why is wearing cutoff shirts or noodle strap shirts considered too grown? And even wearing like camisoles by itself, I just started wearing that. I'm 19. Just started wearing that because I'm like, why was it such a big deal? Because if I wore a camisole type shirt out the house, put on a shirt. And then when I first wore a crop top, it was like a Christmas gift, and that was maybe in 8th grade. And even though I have a small torso, so the shirt basically was like a full length shirt, but when I was gifted to it, my cousin was like, you need to wear a tank top under it when you wore it. So I always wore a tank top under that crop top. And then once I hit 9th grade, I wear crop tops like it's nothing. Half of my closet is crop tops because I'm just like, my torso is not that big, it's not that deep, relax, you know? And even to this day when I still wear crop tops, my mom was like, oh, you're trying to be grown, you're trying to show too much skin. I'm like, girl, relax, it's not that deep, honestly. And you're putting those ideas in my head to make me insecure about wearing it. And I was just thinking like, what if this is the best my body's gonna get? And I was too scared to wear revealing clothes, so now I just can't wear it because my body don't look the same. And now I'm 30 wishing I wore a crop top when I was 18. No, I got time for that. So that's another thing that I had like a mental check off. I was like, okay, once I hit high school, then I can wear a crop top. Also in the Black community, like your body is talked about so much to the point where you can't not ignore it. That's why I started my eating disorder. Well, every time you see somebody, they're like, you look like you're gaining weight. That doesn't make me want to wear shorts. That doesn't make me want to wear clothes that exposes my body. Now now at this point, I mean, I'm still like gaining weight, but at the same time, I really don't care. Like, why is this such a big deal? Relax. And then it'd be the people that are obese. So why are you talking about me? At this point, I just think it's like projection. You're just spewing your own insecurities on towards me. And once I realized that, I just stopped caring. The next thing we're gonna get into, okay, we're still in clothing. So somebody said fishnets. I haven't heard anything personally about fishnets. Actually, I haven't worn fishnets because I know there's a sexualization towards it. Some of the things I haven't done because I just know it will be a big thing regarding it. And also, if you have your own stories or whatever, tell me in the comment section below because I read it, and I think we all should unlearn things together. So the next thing is not wearing a bra. I totally believe that, especially if you have, you know, titties. If you have big titties, you cannot wear no bra at the house. That's basically what they be telling you. And I'm just like, free the titty. Y'all know what titties look like. Y'all know what nipples look like. Relax. If it's not classy, then F that. I don't want to be classy anyway. I can see your nipples. I can see blah, blah, blah. Why are you even looking? Freaking perv. But yeah, I get it. Like, it's distracting, but it's giving, you can't expose your collarbones in class because it distract the guys. It's giving that type of energy. It's just like, what do you gain? You know, like, who cares? Who cares? Jesus. But let a little girl talk about, I don't want to wear a bra. Oh, you're too grown. So is wearing a bra too grown or not wearing a bra? Let me know. And then the next thing, we're gonna talk about hair. Hair is a big thing in the Black community. It's who you are, basically. So somebody said straightening your hair is considered too grown, or wearing fake hair / having hair past your shoulder blades. So in my head, I had like this big conception, like certain hairstyles I cannot wear until I get a certain age. So when I turned 16, that was the first time I ever had box braids. And I thought even then, I was like, that's too soon. I feel like I'm being too grown. I feel like that's being too mature. And then once I got older, I realized people have been wearing box braids since they were like 7. I was just like, wearing box braids is too grown. I don't know, it's and that was also the first and last time I wore acrylics, and that was only because my sister took me to get them. The first time I straightened my hair or went to like the Dominicans to straighten my hair was in 5th grade, and my mom said it's because I kept begging her about it. Apparently I wanted to look like whoever on TV. So straightening hair, it's like they have this like, you're being too grown, you're trying to act grown. Because when I asked her about it, she was like, yeah, you were trying to be grown, trying to straighten your hair, so you got that heat damage. I'm like, okay. But when you straighten your hair, then you get praised for it eventually, because you're like, oh, your hair looks so cute. But let you wear your hair in a natural state, then people are like, you need to do something with your hair. Why does your hair look like that? You need to fix it. Blah, blah. There's no pleasing anybody. And then wearing fake hair, back to that. So there were some kids in like middle school or something that would like wear wigs or whatever, and then I'll hear a commentary from a mom or from whoever that you'd be like, oh, these kids look like they're 20, or this kids look like they're grown adults, they look like they're too grown. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna wear a wig until I'm like 18, which I did. The first time I bought a wig was during the pandemic, like the summertime pandemic, so a year ago. Even when I bought it, it was like a big thing, and I was just like, why can't I? Even in my mind, I'm like, okay, I can't get like a full lace front wig until I'm like 21. I don't know why. It's just like, okay, that seems like an appropriate age to get like melted lace. Sweet to the gods. I'm not gonna wait till I'm 21. I just need money. That's the only thing stopping me. I just need money. But yeah, even that type of energy, like, I still have to this day. Why is wearing a wig such a big thing? Even certain hairstyles I didn't try until the pandemic. I didn't want to try these things until I went to college, because I'm like, okay, there's no judgment there. But you know, we was in the pandemic. I've been home for a year and a half. So I'm just like, okay, we're gonna try these things, and I'm just gonna ignore whatever the commentary is. I still get commentary about whatever hairstyle I get. It doesn't matter. But then once you do it, then you start getting praised for it. You see that the people who were judging you end up copying your style. So it's like, what was the reason? And also about kids like coloring their hair or putting like, you know, hair dye in their hair, because the McClare twins, Alexis and Ava, but they colored their hair like red one time, and then the comments were like, they're too young to have colored hair. I'm like, that's the perfect time. You can do whatever. Why does it matter? But even for that, when I was younger, I really didn't care. Like, I had blue hair, I had pink hair, brown, because that's just who I am. And I'm just like, if I'm gonna have box braids, if I'm gonna have with these hairstyles. Why not? I have purple. Of course people said stuff about it, but I'm just like, at the end of the day, why does it matter, you know? The next thing people said is piercings or earrings. I kind of agree and I kind of don't agree, because we usually get our ears pierced once we're like 1, but like big earrings, yes, or like different piercings. I had to beg my mom for like a year to get the cartilage piercing, and I still want more. It's considered too grown, because it's like, okay, what if you want to get a job? Or tattoos too. You're trying to look older, you're trying to do this and that. It was like, okay, I'm just expressing myself. I just think it looks cute. Like, dang, are you gonna regret that tattoo? Then let me regret it, you know? Let me make my mistakes. Relax, it's not that deep. And at the end of the day, if I don't like the piercing, the hole is gonna close. Like, it's not a permanent thing. I mean, tattoos, you can always cover it up. It's not that deep. And at the end of the day, it's their body, their choice. And then like the big hoop earrings, the bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. That's what the Kardashians say, or somebody said. Pretty sure black people start out first. I mean, they start everything, but either way, they're like, the bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. Why? You can't wear studs for every outfit. Sometimes you just need the hoops to do what it do, you know? A basic look, put some hoops on, you look good. So relax. And then the other two is carrying a purse, which in my personal experience, I disagree and agree, because when I was younger, my grandma used to give me a lot of purses, because you're like, you're maturing, you need to carry your stuff. Even now, people are like, you need a purse, Shayna. I'm like, valid, but at the same time, ugh. But I got a lot of purses since I was in elementary school, so I never really saw it as too grown. Usually they gave it to me to teach me how to be responsible, so I really can't relate to that of being too grown. And then the other one is wearing makeup for fun. I can totally agree to this. If you saw my reading Wattpad stories, you guys know I had like this huge thing about girls who wore makeup. Basically, girls who wore makeup, they're trying to cover up their flaws. I had that conception. I don't know who taught me that, but okay. I always thought, I was like, I'm not gonna be the girl who wears makeup. I'm just gonna be natural, you know, that type of girl. Then the pandemic hit. Actually, I was in modeling in 8th grade and 11th grade, so we had to wear makeup, of course, for the look. And then I worked with a lady who was like very girly and wanted me to wear makeup. I didn't really necessarily like it, but I'm just like, you gotta do what you gotta do, especially for like my senior pictures. I had to wear makeup and stuff, and she was telling me like, you have to wear makeup to impress boys. Child, she was telling me like, you gotta wear makeup because the boys want to see you put together. You have to put your best face forward for the guys. And of course, once she said that, I was like, shut off, I'm not wearing makeup. F them dudes. But then the pandemic hit, of course, and I was still exploring things. So then I went to Elf and I got me my mascara, concealer, foundation, you know, just to try it out. And then I was like, okay, I actually look cute. Of course, people were like, why are you wearing makeup? Why are you wearing those lashes? You trying to look grown. I'm 18. According to everybody else, I'm grown. Yeah. And then I started doing like my eyeshadow videos. So I was really trying to like explore wearing makeup, because of course I had the mental checklist. I'm like, okay, I'm 18. I feel like this is good enough for me to have makeup. And also I bought it because I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to college. I might need it eventually. And yeah, I feel like makeup and piercings and tattoos and just all this together is just things that make people feel good about themselves. And we shouldn't sexualize it. We shouldn't be like, oh, you're too grown to be wearing this. You're too grown to be doing this. Because what is being too grown? Because even with people in their 30s, they be like, oh, she's trying to act grown. Like, what does that mean? It's just so exhausting. All these rules you have to follow that society puts on you, or your community puts on you, your family puts on you, just because that's what they were taught. And I just feel like I just want to break those curses. Like, you wear what you want to wear. There are exceptions, like you can't be wearing bathing suits just casually, stuff like that. But and then even with bathing suits, like wearing 2 pieces versus 1 pieces when you're a kid, it's a big thing. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, wearing makeup. I do very minimal makeup. I feel like it's good for your kid to learn how to do makeup and stuff, to know what they like, to know what appeals to them. Just a form of expression, and it shouldn't be so degraded or be like, oh, she's wearing makeup, she must hate herself. Oh, she's wearing makeup, she's a catfish. Like, but for why y'all think like that? Just be like, she's a bad bitch and let it go, you know? So that's all I have for you today. I feel like this is a pretty long video. I don't want to keep you guys here for that long, but if you agree with anything I said, let me know in the comment section below. I hope I explained everything as well as I wanted to. I just be going on rampages and I don't even know if this makes sense, but hopefully it made sense. If you like this video, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn your post notifications on every time make sure you turn your post notifications on so you're notified make sure you turn your post notifications on so you're notified every time I post, because I don't when I put Why can I not do this? Make sure you turn your post notification bell button on so you're notified each time I post, because I don't even know when I post. So if I don't even know when I post, how you gonna know when I post? Make sure you follow me on Instagram, ShayDaddy2S_. Follow me on Twitter, ShayDay2S_, or follow me on Snapchat, ShayDaddy_LJ. With that, I'm out. Bye guys.